Hello, it must be a Tuesday or something like
It
that.
is Tuesday, man. I know Columbus Day was yesterday, man. Threw me off.
Indigenous Day.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
That's
My calendar said Columbus Day. That's what I went with. He was definitely he was lucky he found where he found, and he didn't really discover the world. But it's about marketing, right? It's who's known for it is the one who gets the word out there before everybody else. All right.
True. Whoever writes the history, right?
That's correct. And the same thing with, with people reading stuff or songs now. And that's such a great song. That was written like 40 years ago or 80 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's so funny. Anyway, move on. So how was your weekend? Did you have any open houses?
Yeah. I had an open house. Went really well. Have a house listed over in River Heights right now. Gorgeous house. And we just did a price reduction to $825 and had, we had 10 families come through. 9 of them were not neighbors.
Wow.
Which is good.
Of course. That means they're not just checking it out and wasting your time.
Yeah. It's not just nosy neighbors, right? So I was like, this is, that was a good metric to kind of gauge what the interest in the market is. And that one's, listed $825.
Where's that at in Modesto?
It's in Riverbank.
Okay.
In River Heights.
Yeah. Gotcha. As you can tell, I had no idea.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool neighborhood. We call it the Beverly Hills of Riverbank.
Well, Riverbank's we've had them on the radio, and with what they're doing there and what's changing and what's going through, they're going to have some really nice stuff there. Oh yeah, so that place is really growing and they're doing it right, and so that's a great place to move to.
Yeah, so, it's well planned out. I mean, their shopping center is great.
Yeah, just too bad Best Buy's leaving.
Oh, I didn't even know. I never go in there anyway.
I don't go that way. I'm in Modesto, so
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, I never realized why you needed two so close together in the first place, So.
Yeah. Now I feel guilty that I didn't even know they were leaving.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It was put in the paper. You don't read the paper. I unfortunately have to, when I do the Mike Douglas shows, and I did that a week or so ago, and that's how I knew.
Gotcha.
Otherwise I would have no idea.
You still read the comics?
No, I haven't read the comics since I was a kid.
My parents used to always say those for me. That's the last time I remember in newspapers.
Yeah. Well, I have to know what's going on because and that's before the show, we were kind of talking about gas prices, and I did a whole segment on that. Whole 2 hours was about why California is paying 70% more than everywhere else in the nation.
Obviously must be taxes, regulations.
There's only about a little over $1 in taxes. Basically, it's because we have special blends, a summer blend and a winter blend. And it tastes like, it smells like grass and lemon. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And the problem is we only have so many refineries, and 6 of them are offline, and 2 of them aren't going to be back online for a while because they were diesel. It's just, it's not necessarily a perfect storm, but basically we should be doing things differently. And that's,
Well, I tell you, this last week was the first time when I've gotten like legit angry at this economy and the way they just keep screwing things up. Right.
Yeah.
Because
it's kinder, gentler time now.
Yeah. Because my card has a limit, or at least the pumps do, of $100, right? And I got 3/4 of a tank.
Yeah, dude, I haven't been able to fill up my truck forever, and I'm going to 175, and I still don't fill it up. So, yeah.
And so then grocery shopping, right? What normally costs us $350 to $380, $524, man.
It's time to start getting a bunch of beef.
Yeah, I'm like
half a beef.
I'm like, where'd the extra $200 come from? I mean,
everything's expensive, and a lot of the stores. And I know we're going to talk about real estate in a second if you're on here, so stay here.
Not just groceries and gas, right?
But it's all about budgeting. My book that I wrote, building, financial freedom, building personal wealth through home ownership. The first thing in there is about budgeting, because even though I can give you a certain number, you need to budget your life and make sure it works. And what you're talking about is how this is affecting your budget.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? And so it all comes to real estate. All this stuff comes back in turn to what you're doing, because you're trying to buy something and have a certain payment and plan. And when things keep going up because of this inflation, it's a problem. Right. And I mean, our gas used to be like $3 to $4 a gallon, and now it's 6 to almost 7. I mean, diesel's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And going electric's not going to fix it. So anyway, move on. All right. So let's talk about a little bit about real estate. See, what was I want to talk about? There was a few things. I think I threw some banners together. It was an article put out about this fall, how this fall is going to be more of a moderate pace home selling, more listings to choose from, softening price growth, what that means is you don't have to put 25,000 over asking, 40,000 over asking, but it's going to allow buyers to have more breathing room to be able to purchase the house. And then I also saw this other one I thought was really amazing. It says left competition will have more time to look at homes they like and consider their options. So it is a perfect time to buy. Yes, rates aren't the lowest they've ever been, but if you see all the advertising, I don't know if you've seen it, but everybody's like, keep the certificate for a no cost refinance, not a free refinance, but a no cost. That means they're going to use the rebate to pay for your cost. It means you're not going to get the lowest. What I'm getting at is you're going to refinance. Don't fall into these companies who are offering a free refinance down the road, because you got to really read. There's nothing. First thing I learned in life, life's not fair for my parents, and there's nothing free in this world. Unless you go to, there's a free phone locally here and some other stuff, but other than that, anyway. So where was I at with what I was talking about? Oh, now is the perfect time to buy. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah. Don't worry about rates. You're going to refinance down the road anyway.
We've been beating the drum for a while, with buyers, telling them like, hey, if you got burnt out in the last couple of years, this is a good time, and you're going to you can easily get some credits to buy down the rate.
Yeah, because I'm telling everybody, we're doing a 2-1 buy down, because I'd rather you be comfortable in the house for the next 2 years to 3 years, and then by then we're going to be refinancing. I don't want to say go ahead and do this right now, and then in a year from now you can't afford it because you thought it was only going to take 12 months and now it's taking 18 months. I don't want to get into that. So I'm like, let's just do 2-1 buy downs, get the seller to pay the difference. We can work that number out. So basically the seller pays the difference in the payment difference each for the first year, and the difference in the payment for the second year. That's what the seller pays for in that number. So whatever the difference in that payment is, basically times 12 months, whatever the difference is on the second one times 12 months, that's what the seller is paying for.
Yeah. Well, so when I got got into real estate in 2017. So this is my first time seeing a slowdown in creative financing, but I think it's a great option.
It's really not that. I was surprised we didn't have them in the past. I mean, we didn't need them because rates were so low and people were, nobody was doing VA really loans, right? Nobody, or FHA, it was really hard to get them done. Everybody was buying cash or conventional or doing these unique things. Well, now you actually can get somebody in a home, do some different things for them, get their payments somewhat close to what they want it to be. And then, then they just plan on refinancing. That's just something. It's just the problem with this year is we've went up. People got used to it. We went up and people got used to it. We went up again and people are like, holy cow. And that's the problem. It's just, we went up multiple times this year, have not went back down yet. And it's just one of those things people are not used to. We're used to low rates, like you just said.
Yeah. Well, and on the inverse of that, sellers, let's just go ahead and be prepared. Let's be realistic, right? Like if you're selling because you have to sell, then let's understand that there are going to be some credits that you're more than likely going to be offering to a buyer, whether it's repair credits, 2-1 buy down. Let's just,
instead of dropping the price $25,000 or making a better improvement, I'll give that towards the buyer towards their closing costs and buying their rate down. FHA and VA, it's like 6%. You can do conventional is like 3% if you're doing 3% down. So that's a lot of money, right? 1% of the, if you're doing a 300,000, let's say a purchase price is 500,000, 3% is, $15,000. So usually do it at a loan amount, but that's just an example.
Yeah.
Right. So FHA is going to be really close to that. VA is going to be over that, and conventional will be a little bit less than that, but that's basically what you have to work with. But if it's FHA and whatever, you got $30,000 you could help out on.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of, because if they drop the purchase price $30,000, what's that do to your payment? $50.
Yeah. It's really
nothing. But if you take that and buy the rate down by this, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of dollars difference.
Yeah.
And then you save your money.
Well, and I have to say that I have an advantage because I spend so much time talking to you that I understand that more, I think, than some of the agents that are out there that are greener than I am, right? Where they don't understand the credit is going to be a much bigger benefit to your buyer than just reducing the purchase price.
Right. And that's always, and that's a problem sometimes where I have had clients on big houses and they're like, okay, we're reducing the house $10,000 because they had some this. I'm like, stop, give it to them towards their closing costs. Let them keep their money. And then that's a much more benefit to them. You got to keep their money in case they want to do something with it. Don't just reduce the purchase price. It does nothing for the payment. So, and they could use that money to buy the rate down or whatever. We just need to run the numbers and see what works best for the clients on both sides.
Yeah.
That's all I had really today.
That's good. No, there's a will, there's a way.
Oh my God.
Get it figured out, right?
If there's a will, there's an A.
Yeah.
That you probably don't remember that. That was they used to sell this series on TV, how to get a better grade in school.
But I missed that one.
Yeah, well, it was before your time.
Yeah,
during my time, they don't do reruns anymore on that kind of stuff.
I know, it's a bummer. You have to go searching for them.
Yeah,
all the old cartoons you have to buy like 30 episodes on like one DVD. My kids love them.
DVD. You have DVD?
I do still have a DVD.
I have a DVD, but it got dirt on it. And then that hacking real estate series, they sent me the whole series with me in it because they're still releasing it. And I'm like, it's on DVD. Why didn't you sit it on a freaking thumb drive? Anyway. All right, man. Make it a great day. Thanks so everybody for listening and watching. We really appreciate you. And we will talk to you tomorrow.
Awesome.